What's going on, YouTube? I wanted to make this video while it was still fresh on my mind. Man, I was sitting up here in the gym getting my workout on, hitting some obliques. And, whoa, shit. I look up at the motherfucking screen, the ESPN screen, right? The TV. And guess what I see? This motherfucker Terrell Owens is thinking about making a comeback to the NFL. Ain't that a... Terrell Owens? Come on, man. T.O.? Now, let me just say this, man. I'm a huge T.O. fan. You know, I grew up on T.O. You know, look at this motherfucker, man. I've said it in other videos, man, but Atlanta has the least driving motherfuckers you've ever seen. The most non-driving people you've ever seen. But anyway, I grew up on T.O., man. You know, of course, Jerry Rice has better stats and everything. But I grew up on T.O. and Randy Moss. That's who I grew up on, my generation. So, I'm a big T.O. fan. Of course, he's gonna. I'm hoping he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, which has been postponed a year, obviously, because he was supposed to be in this past year. But he's thinking about making a comeback, man. He's been saying he might want to come back. Now, I forgot to look it up before I started this video, man. But if I'm not mistaken, T.O. is 40, which in football years is like being 60. Really, any contact sport, any high demanding sport, basketball, football, all of those kind of sports, those high intensity sports, you know, after 35, you're old. Especially a wide receiver, man, because wide receivers get hit. Especially somebody like T.O. T.O. plays hard. He doesn't really run from contact, so T.O. is going to be taking a hell of a toll. He's going to be taking a hell of a physical toll on his body. Even a mental toll, man. Because like I said, when you're 40 years old, you're starting to wind down. You got a family. But, you know, the main reason why T.O. wants to come back is because T.O. is broke. Let's just be real about it. T.O. is broke. I think he's doing a lot better than he has in the past few years. But T.O. ain't swimming in money. T.O. don't have nearly as much money as he should for as much money as he made. And, you know, the thing I'm afraid is that, one, he's going to injure himself. He's going to sustain permanent damage to his body, which won't be hard at 40 years old. He's in fantastic shape. He's still strong. You know, he looks lean and everything. It's not that he won't be able to perform, but just your bones and your muscles can't take the amount of damage that they used to when you were younger, especially when they've been getting hit for all those years. So I'm worried he's going to sustain some sort of physical injury. Whether it be brain trauma, whether it be something with his bones, whatever. And I'm worried that he's going to tarnish his legacy. First and foremost, if he goes back to the NFL, he's going to have to, goddamn, this shit looks dark. Hopefully y'all can see me. I didn't realize how dark it was. But if he goes back to the NFL and he plays, that makes him ineligible for any Hall of Fame induction for 5 more years. So he already has to wait 1 year, you know what I'm saying? It's been postponed 1 year for him. But if he goes back, even if he only plays 1 season, if he only plays 1 snap, he's ineligible for another 5 years. So, you know, he could very easily end up not make it into the Hall of Fame because they're going to take into consideration, they're going to add all of those stats into his resume as well. Now, the likelihood of him not getting inducted because of that, it's slim. But there always is a possibility, especially, you know, there's politics involved. You know, man, but like I said, I just really don't want him to ruin his legacy. You know, there's been very few athletes who have came back or fought or played basketball or whatever well into their old age and kept their legacy alive. Now, people like Kobe got away with it. Kobe played, he wasn't the Black Mamba. He was still Kobe, but he wasn't the Black Mamba in his last couple seasons. But people don't really worry about those seasons. They focus on all the great seasons he had, all the rings he's got. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was getting knocked out. He was getting his ass whooped his last few fights. But guess what, man? He was the greatest of all time in his prime, and that's what people look at. Roy Jones Jr. is another one. He was getting knocked out when he moved up to heavyweight, but when he was a middleweight, he was one of the best middleweights of all time, if not the best. So hopefully T.O. doesn't tarnish his career, man. Like I said, I'm a fan of T.O. I've actually met him before. He's a really cool guy. I've read a lot into his story. Has a hell of a past, and he's, you know, surpassed all of that to become who he is. And I would just really like to see him be a commentator or something like that instead of coming back. And, you know, not just that, man, but who would pick him up? That's another thing. Who would pick him up? because I think even if he gets back into the NFL, even if nobody picks him up, I still think his time is postponed regardless. So he might have to wait 5 extra years, and he might not even get to play. Wouldn't that be some shit? Because you remember, he was a free agent for like 2 years before he actually officially retired. You know, man, because, you know, people don't want to, he's old, and, you know, let's just be real, man, he brings drama. And, you know, I'm sure he's matured some since then, but, you know, you have to take all this in consideration, man. But look up this story. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, man. I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.